Welcome to video number 1 of the EnviroStore training series videos. My name is Dean Wright. I've been a project manager with DTSC for about 20 years, and I've been asked to be your guide on this first video and at least the next 10 training videos in the series. The purpose of the EnviroStore training videos is to help project managers become familiar with EnviroStore and its various screens and functions. DTSC has created these first 11 training videos to support the EnviroStore functions that you, as a project manager, will typically use the most to correctly set up and manage your projects. The other 10 videos in this first batch of tutorials will cover different functions of the database. Each video typically only covers 2 or 3 topics, which keeps them relatively short, and the hope is that this will allow more immediate assistance to project managers who may only need some support or a quick refresher on certain aspects of the database. However, if you're a brand new project manager to the department, there may be some benefit to viewing them in order. There are a number of other functions in EnviroStore beyond what is covered in these first 11 tutorials, and the hope is that more training videos will be developed to cover those subjects. So keep an eye out in the future for more training videos as they are produced. Let's get started. This first video will cover EnviroStore basics, including defining and understanding what EnviroStore is, how to log in and access the database, and how to have a new site added to EnviroStore so that you can begin working on it. First, what is EnviroStore? EnviroStore is simply DTSC's public database and our internal project management tool used on investigation and cleanup sites with DTSC oversight. EnviroStore is set up to follow the DTSC remediation process, which is what makes it an excellent site management and tracking tool. As you work through the various training videos that come out and become more familiar with the database and some of its functions through your own use of this tool, the management and tracking elements of EnviroStore will become more evident. All DTSC PMs must use EnviroStore to manage their sites, so the sooner you become comfortable using it, the easier the job of project management will be. Now let's go over how to get into the database so that you can work on assigned projects. There are several ways this can be done, but this training video will demonstrate access to the database using DTSC's SharePoint page. Using this method, scroll down until you see EnviroStore. After clicking on EnviroStore, you'll be taken to a page where you can choose from 3 main headings: Site Cleanup, Enforcement, and Criminal Investigations, Permitting, or the public side of EnviroStore. As a PM in Cleanup, you'll want to select the first option. This will take you to the EnviroStore login portal. Input your username and password and click Login, and you'll be logged into the database. If you do not yet have a username and password or have forgotten your password, on the bottom you'll see the message, New to EnviroStore, Forgot your password. Click here. Click on this and follow the prompts to obtain that information. As a new project manager, most of the projects you'll work on initially will likely be existing projects that you will inherit. But at some point you'll be assigned a new project and you'll need to know how to add that project to the database. The first tasks after being assigned a new project are to obtain a site code for that project and to have the project added to the EnviroStore database. This is done by the project analyst that's assigned to your unit. The various regional offices and even the programs and units within regional offices may have different methods for providing this information to the project analyst, so check with your supervisor to make sure you're following the protocol for your unit. Since there are different protocols in the different offices for adding projects, this training will be limited to what are typically the minimum requirements. At a minimum, the project manager sends an email request to their project analyst which includes the following information: the site name, and try not to use the word former in your site names as that makes sorting alphabetically difficult. Site address or description of the site location if there is no address, the type of site such as a voluntary cleanup program site, a state response site, or school site, the funding source such as the responsible party, the grant fund, etc., and the site's National Priorities List or NPL status, which is either not listed, listed, delisted, or proposed. Some offices will have the project manager attach the order or site application if one is available to the email request that's sent to the project analyst. Other offices may have the project manager complete an Excel spreadsheet with the required site profile information and attach that to the email request. These attachments will typically include information such as project contacts, consultants, assessor parcel numbers, etc., that the project analyst will input while setting up the project profile on the database. Most of the information that the project analyst inputs to set up the project can also be entered or changed by the project manager. and how to make some of those changes will be covered in subsequent video tutorials. However, most offices use the project analyst for this initial step. After receiving the project manager's email request, the project analyst will complete a site code request form 1431 from the information provided, and a notification email is sent to the project manager when a site code is assigned and the project is on the EnviroStore database. Again, check with your supervisor to ensure you're following the procedures your unit has in place for establishing a new project on EnviroStore. For more information on this process, refer to Departmental Procedures Memorandum Cost Recovery Number 3. Now that you know what EnviroStore is, how to log on, and how to get a project added to the database, you're ready to move on to training video number 2 or any of the other subsequent training videos to learn more about the various screens and functions of the system. Thank you for watching video number 1 of the EnviroStore training series.